So, hi everybody. My topic for today is feminism a reality in rural India? You need to understand at the very onset that feminism is nothing but advocacy of equal rights for both men and women, right? And just like any other type of discrimination, be it caste based or religion based, is what it was also initially fought for by women who were privileged enough to pursue education while others were not. And it was due to their commendable efforts that certain basic human rights were extended to women on paper. But having those rights on paper and having those rights in practical life, there's a huge difference between the two. And that is the reason why initially these rights were only exercised by a particular aristocratic class of women, say if you will. But over the years, a lot of women have been added to the pool of beneficiaries. But the problem as it stands today is that till this date, most rural women stand excluded from that pool. And the responsibility that those women become a benefactor to the feminism movement, to the equality movement, falls upon us. It falls upon the urban privileged women, not just women, forgive me, but anybody and everybody who calls themselves as a harbinger of equal right, it falls upon them, right? That is where the problem starts, you see. Let me explain why. Feminism in rural India today is not self sustainable, self created. It is being sparked from outside by feminists and feminist organizations working tirelessly to create awareness and sensitization in those areas. Sounds good, right? But the issue here is that there is a huge difference between the problems faced by the people who are fighting for rights of rural women and the problems which are faced by rural women. And until and unless this difference of problems is not appreciated, the intersectionality of problems that rural women face is not appreciated, our efforts are going to go in vain. Now, at the risk of sounding offensive, we are going about the sensitization process completely wrong. You see, because sensitization these days in rural areas is mostly about filling those women with enthusiasm, elan, and aspirations without providing them with real time solutions to their problems. Enthusiasm is better than good, it's excellent, very well, right? But those women, most women out of them, do not have the financial resources at their disposal or the financial independence to achieve those aspirations. We certainly are not going to be there to guide them through each step of the way. They cannot fight the societies they live in, they cannot fight their families because they do not have legal resources at their disposal, because there is neither proper policing in those areas nor proper implementation of laws. They do not have social media at their disposal to cite their stories, to narrate their problems, right? So, what am I suggesting? Just let them be? No. I believe that feminism cannot work around a single definition, it cannot work around a single concept. It must adapt to the societies it tends to bring a change in. We must bring a change in cooperation with the societies. We cannot barge into a conservative society with our notion of urban feminism, with our definition of urban feminism, which on the very face of it appears to the families of those women as against their conservative thinking, as against their values, as against their thinking. We cannot do that, right? At the risk of sounding ironical, yes, I'm suggesting that we fight for autonomy by taking permission, by complying to the very families we are seeking independence from. But you need to understand that I'm willing to make that sacrifice. I'm willing to taint the abstract concept that feminism is if it could mean that it can initiate a chain reaction of education, of financial stability for even some women in a remote area. Because understand this thing, if even some women in a particular area are educated, they can be there for the other women each step of the way. They can guide them, they can bring real time reforms in those areas. Thank you.